We're at the 25th anniversary for the Langwarrin Football Club's premiership in 1993 when they won by 1 point. We've got the captain coach of the team, Leith Gage, and the man who was on the bench as the assistant coach, Jack Hornsey. Gentlemen, good to have you with us. Big day, Leith. You won by 1 point 25 years ago. What do you remember most about that win? Was it more relief or delight?
I was delighted because we actually come from 23 points down at three-quarter time to win the game against the wind, believe it or not.
Who are you playing, Jack?
Karen, who we've really strong throughout the year.
Yeah.
Had a lot of key players, brought a lot of players in from the likes of Pines, etc. There were guys like Strop Neal, Dale Carpenter, Kenny Soul. So, when you look at the both sides across the peninsula, there were some really strong players.
Now, the premiership star for Langwarrin back in 1993 was Glenn Nichols. Nico Nichols. Now, that's your premiership jumper. Have you washed it since?
It hasn't been washed. I wore it that night, all night. A lot of beer on it. It's got the smell.
Another member of Langie's 1993 premiership team as part of their 25-year reunion was Chris Chop White. Chris, what do you remember most about the day?
Oh, about the day. Robbie Jackson running down the down the wing of Frankston probably put us back in the game. A highlight of my day was when three of the Karen thugs got sent off in the first quarter. That sort of put us right in the game.
The man who says he was best on ground in the grand final win for Langwarrin back in 1993 over Karen by 1 point, Robert Kirky Kurt. Now, Kirky, how many possessions did you have, and have the number of possessions increased as the years have gone on when you've celebrated that great win?
They have, mate, they have. I've watched the video numerous times. I was clearly best on ground.
So, what do you reckon? You had about 50?
Nah, I only had about, I think it was about 27.
It's always great when you're playing a premiership, particularly if you played over 300 games for the footy club. You deserve to have some success. And David Hollier, who still looks as baby face as he did as a 22-year-old back in 1993. What are you, 48 now, David? I mean, you would have looked about 10 back in 1993 as a 22 or 23-year-old.
I reckon I was looking 15.
What do you remember about the premiership?
Look, we had quite a few years of not much success, and then just to win by a point with all my mates was just sensational.
Never forget it?
No, we'll never forget it.
A couple of Chris's in that premiership team for Langwarrin in 1993. Ruckman forward pocket player Chris Hunt's with us, and Chris, you look like you'd still be out there playing now.
No, not today, mate. I'm 50 years old.
Well, I'm nearly 50.
I reckon, well, would you do a hammy if you were out there?
Probably, yes.
Yeah. So me, it's the same here. But yeah, loved it in my playing days. Loved resting in the forward pocket. We had Bear Newman playing with us, who was about the same height as me. And resting in the forward pocket was about my favourite thing.
One of the toughest players, I've been told, in no uncertain terms, to play in that premiership side in 1993 was Harry Hawke, and he played off the half-back line. You did say, you still look like you could play, Harry. You're in great shape.
Oh, mate, yeah, that's what concreting does for you, I suppose. You just, never really banged on the weight.
What do you remember about the premiership?
Just a great day, mate. The crowd was enormous. The crowd noise at quarter time was ridiculous. They had to calm them down, and hence we collapsed a bit in the second quarter, and we lost the lead at half time. But mainly the crowd, and just, great day.
Well, two of the other legends, and there are many legends from this Langwarrin premiership team of 1993, Bear Newman and also Robbie Jackson with us. Robbie, we'll start with you. You've played in premierships with a lot of footy clubs, Coringal, Hines and Langwarrin. Can you compare this one to the other ones?
No, this is by point. So this is the greatest flag that I got to play in. 1 point is just brilliant. So,
what do you remember most about it?
Not much.
Now, Bear, I hope you give me a bit more. What do you remember most about it?
Probably Robbie actually turning the game in the last quarter. We were struggling a bit and made some big moves and got us back in the game. So, yeah.
Well, two of the great characters of the Langwarrin Footy Club and two of the legends of that premiership team back in 1993, Stewie Barth on my right, Daryl Patterson on my left. Pat, I will start with you. You almost cost them the game, but you won them the game. Does that make sense? You kicked 4-9, including the behind that got them over the line. Is that right?
No, I didn't kick the behind that got us over the line. Robbie Jackson done that, but I kicked 4-7. But one of them was from about 65 out, if you remember, Stewie, in the third quarter.
What, goal or behind?
That was a goal.
What do you remember about it, Stewie?
I remember plenty of the day. Being
Any of the night?
Not much of the night, no. Because I actually hadn't had a beer for about 6 weeks leading into the grand final day because I had a lot of injuries through the year. And I need to look after myself to actually make the team that year.
Did you?
Yeah, I had a lot of broken ribs through the season and only played a handful of games all year. And so it was, very fortunate for me to actually get on that, that final 18 for that day. It was very special. And being a traditional Langy guy, as to speak, many, many years of junior footy here and so forth, and to win that 93 premiership was something I'll never ever forget.
Download the app now from the App Store. Get your game face on.